hello. This is No Bullshit Gaming Podcast and Have Gamers session number 26. And we are discussing the latest news, having fun, dropping knowledge. But let's not forget, this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so please stop being so serious. And today we have Felix, Mr. Menban Braberg over here, Jakub, Mr. Vacation Remyar, and myself, Matej, Mr. At Home, tired as fuck, Lancharic. Yeah, well, today we are discussing latest news and we will be asking each other fun, silly, interesting questions. Well, we'll see. Each of us prepared a few questions that others didn't see or hear before. So let's see how it goes. This is going to be a combination of fun and news. So hit the subscribe button, guys. We really appreciate it. But hey, so it's been a while. How are you? How are you these days, Felix, Jakub?
I mean, I'm busy as hell right now, but yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah.
All right.
Currently vacationing in the beautiful city of Slovenia, Ljubljana, and heading into Croatia tomorrow. So
Slovenia is not Slovakia, right?
Good one. Good old joke.
Yeah.
The best thing is that if you like select languages here in Slovenian, they call it like Slovakian.
Do they?
Yes.
Why don't you just invade them? It should just be one country, Slovakia. Let's just make it one. Like, I should decide Slovenia, Slovakia. Just call it one thing.
Sure, but they're not even neighbors. I mean,
it's kind of trendy these days to
I'm
do
hearing a lot of
invasions into your neighbors.
Hearing a lot of problems, not a lot of solutions.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, okay.
It has been a big news week last week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
like
very
a lot
true.
of stuff happened. Yeah, a lot of monopolies throwing their weight around.
Yeah, we should discuss these free news, basically free topics, and then let's do the questions afterwards. So it's called Better Ads Experiences by Google. Then we're going to talk about Apple and the new App Store Ads Today tab. Fucking terrible. And then again, Google joins bidders on Macs. Okay, pretty interesting. So we can start with the Better Ads Experiences by Google, because that was something that was kind of like circling around on LinkedIn, and a lot of people that had no idea how the fuck this works shared their comments like, hey, everything is dead, hey, hyper casual is dead, you are going to die, blah 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 blah. Okay, so what is the news about? So developers are required to comply with the following ads guidelines to ensure high quality experiences for users, and they are using the Google Play apps. So your ads may not be shown in the following unexpected ways for users. So full screen interstitial ads of all formats that show unexpectedly. This is the most important part. Typically, when the user has chosen to do something else, are not allowed. Then the ads that appear during gameplay at the beginning of a level or during the beginning of a content segment that are not allowed, whatever that means. And
aren't these two placements like 50% of hyper casual already?
It depends. I mean, it's really hard to draw a line where is the beginning of the level and like the end of the level as well. I mean, the end of the level is kind of like okay, but then still like end and then beginning of the level, like what's the difference? So let's see how that goes. But then we have full screen interstitial ads that appear before the app loading screen. I mean, I've never seen this actually. So these are not allowed.
Isn't that app open up? Like that's what it is?
When? Sorry?
That's the app open up ad,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You click on the icon and you see the ad first thing, yeah?
Yeah, it's like I've never seen it before. Oh, but maybe that there are some really weird examples of this.
It's been like the talk of the town in the last like 6 months, these app open ads. Like they're
okay.
They're
really?
Apparently they get really high ACPM. I mean, they're really sharky, but apparently they've seen tremendous growth in the last 6 months.
Okay, that makes sense. And then we have the full screen interstitial ads of all formats that are closable after 15 seconds, and these are not allowed. I mean, I've seen interstitials closable after 5 seconds, not 15 seconds. But yeah. Okay, so I know. So what should we
Expect
discuss?
from
Yeah,
this?
and expect is like hyper casual that seriously? No, I don't think so. I mean, most probably yes, this is going to have an impact on all of the monetization in terms of the ads, but it's not so special, right?
I would say hyper casual is something similar to like a StarCraft Zerg link that mutates and evolves with each evolution round. So
Of
my guess
course.
is that again the kind of weakest link will die off, and then they will find out which is the kind of next best thing working out. But yeah, returning back to the first 2 points there, I think those are pretty common. Like full screen interstitial ads when you kind of don't expect them. Like either like you push the play button or you like go
That's
between
the
the
That's the
menus.
beginning
Yeah, that's the beginning. But
level.
even when, let's say, you're just browsing through the app or like going between the menus or just adjusting something in the, whatever the
Yeah.
game kind of goes around, and then suddenly an ad appears. So I would say this is super common.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
But then,
I have inside information on this. So
of
I
course you do.
had
As
a
usual.
chat. I had a chat with my AdMob AM, who's actually quite good. It's like best AdMob AM I had in quite a while, which is a nice change of pace. So I'll quote exactly what he said. So this is mostly around interstitial ads that show up unexpectedly to interrupt gameplay. So as long as you implement interstitials that show up between sessions or in part of the game that don't interrupt the current gameplay, you should be fine. Based on this criteria, we have so far, it's all about unexpected content at the beginning or during gameplay. So this policy only references interstitial ads that are 15 seconds or longer or unskippable. So from what I feel like this is like there are some game developers that will be kind of major losers for this kind of in the short to medium time period. That's what I feel. But as like as long as you start making adjustments, I feel that you'll be able to build around this. I mean, in the medium and short term, it will suck a bit, but like you said, hyper casual will evolve as a genre, and they'll just work around this.
You're
I'm just
always trying to find loopholes. Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. And also, like what's going to happen is in the short term, we're going to get a lot of builds rejected from Google if you're monetizing with interstitial. It's going to be super annoying. And how are they going to police this? I have no idea. It's quite subjective what's categorized as unexpected.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really going to be, a lot more rejections from the Google Play Store, and that's going to suck for a while. But in just like what I saw in like LinkedIn, everyone was freaking out, and I was like,
Yeah, I was
no,
like,
this is not hyper casual killer, like nowhere
yeah,
near
no
it.
way, no.
Especially after speaking to Google, like it just sounds like, yeah, they'll bust some offenders, you'll get rejected, and you have to change the ad placement.
No, because this was released on 27th last week, and it was like really quiet, and then suddenly out of nowhere, like, oh wow, everything is going to die, we're fucked. Like, come on, guys, seriously, why? But I get it, It's just like IDFA, apocalypse, all these bullshits, super clickbaity.
Yeah, my guess is that a lot of apps are gonna, as Felix said, got build rejections, and they will just need to kind of polish out their ad placements. But this doesn't say, like, they don't really exclude or prohibit the thing where the ad is still unexpected, because between the levels you kind of expect another level, but then you get an ad, which is still allowed. So my guess is it wouldn't be that big of a hit still, even if like we take those let's call them kind of a shitty ad placements. So still, yeah, it's not really like a that big of a hit, even if we take those, because it doesn't say anything about rewarded ads, which I
No,
guess,
yeah, they're going to be fine.
Yeah,
like
rewarded ads is still there. Banner ads is non-effective. It's just around interstitial ads and app open ads. They're putting some guidelines that you have to follow. So rewarded ads and banner ads, that's not going to change at all, and
Yeah,
that's still a big part of hyper casual. So yeah.
sure.
But Rima, you place a couple of ad placements in your game design days. Like, do you have any suggestions where you can put interstitial that's not as annoying as before a level?
don't use interstitials. Try to use rewarded more.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Why? Still a pretty
Interstitials
big chunk of the revenues.
depends on your strategy, but I would say rewarded are always better because rewarded always kind of has that incentive behind it that you want to use the content of the rewarded reward in your continuous gameplay, whereas interstitial kind of pisses you off and you want to kind of leave the app, you know.
It's true. It's annoying, yes, of course, but it can drive a pretty significant revenue.
It
Yeah.
can, but it's kind of a short-term solution, or like, you know, I would say rewarded are much more kind of a long-term
It's just a
thinking
different,
here.
but it's just a different type of the money. I mean, look, so you need to find the balance between annoying people and earning a good amount of money.
Yeah, like it's a mathematics between retention. Like if you're gonna lose those users anyway, why
Yeah,
not put
yeah, yeah.
interstitials there? That's
Of
of course
course.
there.
So I have a conspiracy theory here, or not conspiracy theory, because I think I'm
Ah,
actually right on the money. Because 2 weeks before AdMob released these new guidelines that will hamper interstitial, they have been pushing me for literally like 2 meetings in a row, quite hard, on trialing rewarded interstitial, which they rolled out gradually and is now fully rolled out.
yeah, that's
So I
the thing you
think this
mentioned
could
before.
also, yeah, this could
Yeah.
also be a push to get people to really adopt the rewarded interstitial ad format, which is not covered by these guidelines. So could be that
Ah,
as well, which wouldn't surprise
Hmm,
me.
that's a pretty nice conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm not even wearing a tinfoil hat for that. I think it just
oh
makes
yeah.
so much sense.
Well, okay. Let's see. Let's see. But yeah, I think conclusion is like it's not a big deal. Oh well, it is a big deal, but not like hyper
That big
casual
of a
is
deal.
that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
It's Google trying to force people to use rewarded interstitial. That's probably what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then let's switch to Apple before we go back to Google. So Apple announced it's expanding its offering of how developers can promote their apps on the App Store. And hear this, helping developers expand their reach and making it easier to discover more of what the App Store has to offer. So it's the first show. Okay. So they yeah, they're now going to show ads in the today's featuring tab, which they confirmed is actually dying and not getting that much traffic anymore as it is used to. So instead of fixing it, what do we do? Let's put ads inside. So so we fuck it up all over again. But yeah, so until now, Apple has offered developers two ad opportunities in the search tab and in the search results page. And this is like biggest joke from the article. And I'm gonna quote it. So both ad placements have been a tremendous success for developers, helping them find users who may be interested in their apps, according to Apple. The expansion of ad opportunities in the App Store is a part of companies' efforts to maintain the App Store as the best place for developers to grow their businesses. Oh my fucking god, this is
Man,
so
the
my
spin doctor they have working there, like they are good. That sounds so great if you don't understand
yeah.
what's going on, but that's
Ugh.
First
Yeah.
they break it and then they try to fix it with money. Like I can pay to fix it.
This is so terrible. Yeah. So yeah, well, thank you very much for the new ad opportunity within the today's tab on the front page of the App Store. Amazing. So as we know, in the gaming industry, Apple search ads for games sucks. Really, it's the worst placement out there, or the UA channel. But no, jokes aside, it can work. Depends on the game. 10 out of taking that back, 9 out of 10 games that I managed before, I couldn't make it work. There is one game I could make it work, which I think is just a big exception.
Is that because the
So
scale is really bad?
well, the thing is, like, it's a very different UHL is based on the intent. So, if nobody wants to search your game or game genre, then you just can't force people to do it. It's just no way.
You can build a
So,
clone.
yes, sure. Yeah, it's yeah, you can do that and then try to steal the the original game's traffic, but most probably not going to work because it's going to be expensive as fuck.
Wouldn't
S-
this work like on like viral or seasonal things? Like there's like Olympic Games or Euro Cup or
yes, of
something that
course.
people search a lot, and then this kind of placement works.
Yes, there's also a correlation between TV ads and the search volume. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense because you see something, then you're trying to search for it, and then bam, instead of not paying for the organic traffic, which you would get anyway, you're going to pay for it. Outstanding move, outstanding move. Yeah, I mean, it's true that this can work to a certain extent on iOS traffic, of course, because it's Apple and it's all the privacy bullshits they have in their hands. But yeah, if you want to just rely on Apple Search as like a main pillar of your UA channel or UA strategy, that's not going to work. Unfortunately, no. Even with like 10 more ad placements, maybe 10 more ad placements, that would work, but we will never know, because they already said like, oh well, we are not expanding anything, any of these placements before.
How's the cadency of them adding these ad placements? Like
I have
one
no
one in a
idea.
year or something?
Maybe. No, I have no idea really. And since this is
From
no bullshit game podcast, I'm not
yeah,
gonna say anything.
but I just want to know. So that one gaming company that you said you made it work.
Yeah.
What was the scale? Like, how much can you spend on search ads before this? Like maybe like $2,000 a day, $3,000 a day, not
Yeah,
more,
right
right?
now it's like 1,000 a day only in the US because all other geos were not as good as the other channels. I mean, they were pretty good, but still, if I can get better results on different channels and I have the limited budget, then I move the budget elsewhere. That's just how it is. But it's true that yes, they are trying to work and expand the geos and everything. But still, look, I wanna target payers. That's how it is. And
Mm.
I know
Is
this
that
is
data not rolled in any way in search ads?
well, you have the post specs, but you need to have the MMP to get those post specs. And yes, then you can have like keyword level revenue or LTV as well, which is of course really useful. But still, I mean, it's not. Yeah, you just can't scale only on Apple Search Ads. On the other hand, in the world of apps, the Apple Search Ads is just the must. I mean, that's just the top one, top one UA channel. In terms of games, nah, not that much.
So let's be really candid. What actually happened here? Apple rolled out the ATT tracking framework for our privacy. User acquisition on iOS went to shit. Now they're expanding ad placements from 2 to 3 on Apple search ads, and they're going to make $20 billion probably after this change.
100%. And also, back in
Thanks,
days,
guys.
yeah, thank you.
Outstanding move.
Yeah, outstanding move.
Back in days, they even had their own ad network. Then they closed it, and I'm pretty sure that they are going to reopen it at some point in the future. I mean, makes all the sense.
Yeah.
If they're depends on how this new ad opportunity in today's type
Yeah.
will pan out.
It's just like monopolies being monopolies. Love it. Like it's great. It's
Yeah, of
just
course.
like
I
you
mean, they
act
can
so
do whatever
like
they
if I
can.
was
They
Apple,
want.
I'd do the same thing, but from the outside you're just like just give us another app store. Like you guys ruined this one, please. Like
Yeah,
oh,
restart the whole thing, please. Let's get
yeah.
back to 2010 or
Yeah, exactly. The good old
12.
days.
Don't
Yeah,
All
what
worry,
right.
we'll
happened?
end up in VR in 10 years.
Oh, of course.
Ah.
Hello, those VR
All
and
right.
metaverse.
All right. So can
Yeah.
I move on from
Oh yeah. Let's
one
do that.
monopoly back to the other one?
To the other one. Yeah, of course.
So I'm actually quite excited about this because it's not often that Admon gets really big news. And this is massive news in the world of Admon because last Thursday, Google AdMob got announced they will finally be launching as an SDK bidder on App Loving Max. Let's be clear here, like this is really big news for Admon and kind of my wheelhouse. So just a little background before I explain why this is really big news. So a couple of years ago, AdMob made a decision to only allow 3 AdMob placements per waterfall in any given country on any third-party mediation platforms.
But wait a
Meaning,
second. You could have more. but then you got
We'll get
banned,
there.
or
We'll
yeah,
yeah,
okay,
we'll get
okay,
there. We'll get there.
okay, okay.
So any third-party mediation platforms, that means Max, Fiber, Iron Source. Yeah, the rest of us, mere mortals, was limited to 3 placements. So this meant you could only call AdMob, for example, at $30, $50, or $10 in, let's say, the UK. And AdMob would only fill at those 3 placements, meaning that the biggest ad network in the world, you only have exposure to the biggest ad network in the world in 3 locations in your waterfall. So this will massively reduce the amount of AdMob fill you're able to get as a publisher. So why would AdMob make a decision like this that would net publishers and themselves less money and less inventory? It doesn't really make that much sense until I got pitched by AdMob on their mediation platform, and their key and main pitch that they said was, with AdMob mediation, you're able to use as many AdMob places as you want. A cynical man would say that AdMob was using their dominant position to create an
No
artificial
way.
reason to push developers to their mediation over competitors. An even more cynical man would say that Google did this because their mediation has been lacking and falling behind competition, so they needed a really good hard sell to compete
Nice.
against other mediation platforms. Maybe I'm not a cynical man, but that's what a cynical man would say. So, how did AdMob police this 3 placement rule? So, they tracked ad requests, and if they saw that you had more than 3 placements, you got massively throttled, and usually saw your ad revenue from AdMob decrease by 90 to 95%.
Okay.
Then you had to remove the placements and wait for the Google algorithm to bless you with increasing their traffic again. And you could never speak to anyone at Google about this because it was a separate team that handled all the complaints, which was painful. You had no idea for how long you were throttled, and sometimes you could sneakily. I never did this
Oh
personally.
yeah,
Wink.
of course.
And
Yeah.
you maybe sneak in 1 or 2 AdMob placements, and you see like your revenue go up by quite a lot. You're like, oh, this is great. And then you get busted, and then everyone screams at you because, your revenue's dropping by a lot. So the big news now is that AdMob bidding will be coming to Max mediation, and this is big news now because this will get publisher to get exposure to AdMob across their whole waterfall instead of just 3 price points. So what I'm expecting to happen is that eCPM from AdMob probably will not change that drastically, but the fill will increase a lot. So remember, ad revenue is fill plus eCPM. So I'm expecting my ad revenue to increase from AdMob significantly, and that will also help by driving up the prices because of more competition. So right now, AdMob bidding is in closed beta on AppLovin, meaning that just like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you need to be blessed with a golden ticket
Oh
from
yeah, of
AdMob
course.
to be allowed on that list of the closed beta test. Then probably in October or November, if everything looks good, they'll be rolled out to the masses. So for those of us who are blessed with this golden ticket, we have a 15-day ramp-up period to look forward to when going live in the coming days. And unless I get gagged by an NDA, I'll be sure to keep updating on the performance on this podcast in the weeks to come.
Very good. Perfect. Yeah. So I was really surprised this happened, and I was wondering like, why is this a huge win? But now I get it. Okay.
And the crazy thing is, it's only been announced on AppLovin Max, but not on Iron Source. So you can see
Yeah.
if Iron Source dragged their feet on not getting this set up for a couple of months, that's a huge disadvantage because then the average ad ARP out that you're getting on
Yeah.
Iron Source is going to be much lower than that you're seeing on
Was
Max.
But was it announced on other mediations as well, or
I think I
because
saw it.
yeah,
I was trying to
saw
look
it
for it
somewhere.
today. I saw Fairbid as well. So Fiber's Marketplace launched it. So it's a
And
bit
there is
surprising.
this chart boost helium, whatever that is.
You mean Zynga's mediation?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, our friend from Plarium, I think, posted it on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah, I
think
only
so.
saw it on Fairbid and Max, but I'm expecting probably to be announced on Level Play. That's Iron Source mediation very soon.
Yeah.
But if it's not, that's not good.
Yeah, of course. If it's not, whoops.
Exactly.
Oopsie.
So the day where I never have to make a single placement again is coming closer, and I'm looking forward to it.
Do you think this is somehow related to the Iron Source Unity merger?
No.
I don't see how.
Why?
Yeah, I don't see how or why. I
The-
think
the-
at
like what's the market share there within the mediation platforms?
probably like I have no idea, but I'd probably say like 70% of people are on Max these days. I have that's just the
That
sense I
much?
get when talking to people.
Okay.
They spent a quarter of
Disregard
a
my
billion
question.
last year to get people to
Yeah.
like come onto their like mediation. Like
Okay.
It's got a big
yeah.
chunk of people already. But it was
I'm
quite
really
opposite.
looking forward to seeing how this turns out because this has been so annoying for so long.
If you've built a mobile game for iOS or Android, you've experienced user churn. You can win those users back, but it's getting more and more expensive, even more so to acquire totally new users. Enter cross-promotion with Addictive. By identifying your users likely to churn early, you can showcase another game in your portfolio before they leave forever, transforming a lost user into a new user, increasing your revenues. Learn more now at addictive.com.
Well, good news then.
Very good
Good
news.
news. All right.
Yeah.
Should we go to the questions?
Yes.
So, for all of us that are listening, this is pure fun segment. We have no idea how this is going to pan out, but let's see. Let's see. So I will start. Actually. So nobody knows what I prepared, and I have no idea what these two gentlemen prepared as well. But I will make this first question super easy, to warm up. So this is to both of you, and I'm not reading my messages. I'm just looking at my iPhone to read the questions. So, what would you ask Mr. Mark Zuckerberg and why? And Jakub, why is it about VR?
Okay. Um, um, I would ask him probably how much is the real kind of or let's say how much money do you think you will need to burn down in order to get there where you want to get? Because my
Mm,
guess is if we saw the last quarter results, it was again 3 billion. So there's so much money that's gonna need to be burned down until they get there. So my guess is like how long do you think this kind of thing will work out for all the investors that gonna kind of see the burn right there? Because my guess is that the technology will take much longer.
sure, but it's a long term investment.
Mm. Like and the other thing that I would ask him regarding this, why do you think you will get it first when there's everybody
Ah,
else, literally everybody else competing against you?
yeah, that's a good question.
I'd probably ask him, why are you moving away from Facebook's core competency, which is execution and copying like competitors to, innovating. Like
Buying companies.
he's not known as an
Buying
innovator.
Night.
Yeah, he's not known as an
Buying.
innovator. He's known as like, this ruthless executor who's the best at executing.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. Well, executing and then buying Instagram, right? WhatsApp,
Yeah,
all these other.
that's execution.
Yeah. Okay. True. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We you can go. You can go next. So we actually take turns.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll ask my first question. And I thought we were supposed to write questions separate for people, so I actually made a special
Yeah, I
one
have
from
separate
Remo.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have
Let me
separate
ask my
questions.
first one for. Let me ask my first one for Remo. How much luck is involved in game design, and what's more important, luck or solid game design?
Wow.
So first thing you need to have both, and the worst thing is that the luck factor. If everybody knew how big it is, nobody would be making mobile games. That's my answer. It's like 40% or something. Like I don't know how much, but just look at the Supercell graveyard. It's like so hard to really make games that makes a lot of impact and that are like that good. Because even if you try, even if your game design is super solid, everything's great, suddenly the market's not there. Suddenly it's not working. Suddenly the CPI is too high. Suddenly the retention is not too big. And the game's perfect in the end, like even
Yeah.
from player standpoint. So my guess is the lag is really big, like more than 30%, definitely like somewhere in 40% in a
Really?
way that really good timing, really good market conditions, somebody isn't fast enough to copy you or pollute the marketing prices with the high CPIs in order to scale, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
need
a
to
really,
be
really big
at the
lag
right
factor.
time in the right place, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask
basically.
my follow-up question? Because Mate kind of links to this one.
Mm.
So, Mate, how hard is UA really for mobile games, and how dependent on you are you simply on how well the game monetizes? So the
Yeah.
luck factor plus game design. So it's basically branching out to here. Like how much of what you do is just dependent on how well the game monetizes.
No, the thing is, like, I always say, because everybody wants to scale their game. And I think it's super easy because you hire this UA ninja, whatever, and it's like, yeah, okay, you can scale my game, and if he couldn't do it, then nobody could. But the whole marketing spend and scaling and growing the game is actually, I think, more on the game side rather than just the UA side, because it's the LTV of the game always dictates how much you can scale. So even if I can do all these like hacks and tricks and whatever, creative optimization, channel diversification, and whatever other buzzwords I can just pull out of my ass, it's just not going to scale if your LTV is 20 cents. I mean, I can do whatever, but it's just like impossible. So the UA is per se is like very easy. Anybody can just, launch a campaign. I mean, you can just do it in 10 minutes. But then what? That's the most important question. And also, like, yeah, I would definitely rely on the game design and the whole monetization of the game.
Okay.
There you go.
There we
There you
go.
There you go.
let me do with my favorite one. This one goes from Matej, but also stretches to Felix. Will
Of
we
course.
ever get rid of the fucking fake misleading ads?
Ah, man, I saw.
The ASMR cutting ads. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
You need to implement it.
yeah. We get. I said, what the fuck? I mean, you already asked this like million times before. You're not gonna, it's gonna be like that, unfortunately, because it's still they apparently work. People they want to see them and they click on it because it's interesting for them. Whatever, I'm not sure like why, but whatever, whatever. And as soon as people are going to again click install and then pay afterwards, everybody's going to do those, unfortunately, because I mean there are these like fake ads which are really funny, and I know like they're definitely not connected to gameplay, but then there are these like very well aggressive soft porn related ads that we
Fucking
discuss.
hate those. If you do those ads, like seriously, stop it. And I
Yeah,
hate
it's
you. You know how
it's
many
really, I
complaints
mean,
I get of
no.
those? Oh,
But can we at least acknowledge that there was a time in mobile gaming when this method was not used and games were scaled with let's say
Dude,
like normal ads? Was
you
there that time?
remember there was definitely a time, but you remember us at Pixel Federation like 7 years ago. We had a train station game and we had this mini game which we then actually ported to what was the
The the, the
RegioJet.
bus company.
Yeah, the
Mm.
company called RegioJet. Then we just ported it there, and we used it for creative for the campaigns, and it was fucking amazing. Like best campaign or best creative, best KPIs ever. It had nothing to do with the gameplay. It was just a mini game pulled out of our asses, and there you go. It worked even before the fake ads were fake ads. So unfortunately, it was always here, but I guess yes, there were the times when we had real gameplay, but then the UA people and the companies will do whatever it takes to to make money and reach the goals. That's how it is.
follow up, I
Yeah.
guess, for me, I don't care. As long as I don't get complaints and
Yeah.
like bad reviews, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. So
Fine.
I have.
Maybe in VR it will be bigger a problem.
Oh, fuck's sake. Sure, of course. All right. So Felix, now after the non-intrusive ads release, like what would you ask Google after this release and after the release of the max mediation bidding? Like, what are the plans or whatever you would ask now? Like, hey Google, what the fuck are you doing?
I'd ask him first. I would ask him like a question, just how are you prioritizing your own mediation platform, and why was it kind of lagging behind so much? Like nothing has changed that I can see on it
Yeah.
in pretty much like the last 2 years. It looks the same. Like nothing has really changed. And I was just wondering why they would deprioritize something, because a couple of
Yeah.
years ago they were a dominant position and they just completely let it fall. And then yeah,
Okay.
that's what I kind of want to know. Like it would have been a great way to dominate the market for longer.
Nice. Jakub, what
Mhm.
would you ask a CEO of Sky Mavis? Because you're a big fan of Axie Infinity, so I'm all
Of
ears.
course. Um, I guess. How long did it take to realize that the Ponzi will not work when the money was flowing in? That
Oh
would be
my god.
question number one. And then question number two: what are you going to do with all those funds and capacity in order to kind of turn this around?
Yeah, did you see the article about him moving some assets before this hack actually happened? There
Clever
were
guy.
some,
Or
yeah, there
are
were
we
some.
still on the inside job theory?
I said it. I said it all. I said it before. I still think it was an inside job, and I
Mm.
will stick to it. Yeah, well, there were some articles about him moving some assets
Yeah, I
just
would be
before.
really curious about the pivot, because their current pivot, as you see, what they're doing is that they're trying to kind of be the publisher now and support
Mm,
the like creation on their platform, which kind of is dying off like super fast. Like if you look at their numbers that Jiho, one of the founders, releases every week on Monday or I think Tuesday, they're losing around 10% of their DAU every week. So by end of September, if I calculated it right and they keep this pace, they will be under 100k DAU compared with like 2.8 million DAU in the peak in November. So yeah, there's not that much time left in order to do something around it.
Yeah.
So
Also, I had a check actually. What was it? Last Friday. So Q2 finished, and on average, the MAU of all crypto games in total was 1.1 million. Compare that to the same in
mm,
mobile, which is 2.2 billion. This is still a niche product, and there's not
yeah,
that many users out there.
not yet, not
Not
yet.
yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Like, look, so there are these companies from the Web3 that are now trying to build the mobile clients finally, and they're trying to soft launch their games. So guess who is getting a lot of inbounds these days?
Gentleman SRL.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean it's just the thing is like it's an evolution that had to happen because of what we discussed before. I mean,
Yeah.
you need to have a mobile client to be able to scale the game and then put the Web3 or blockchain layer on top of it, and then there you go.
I'm interested to see
Well,
what's going to happen when the first real mobile clients of this
yeah,
stuff comes out.
yeah,
Like this is
yeah,
the
me
one
too.
platform you can actually scale on. Like,
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
see definitely this autumn, like how the Gen 2 games will fare in this
Yeah.
kind of a, let's say, upgraded version.
Yeah,
Yeah. Machi, can I ask you my question? Next question.
of course.
How much fraud do you reckon is out there currently in the mobile UA ecosystem and in percentage terms?
I don't give a fuck. honestly, like this fraud topic is just the one big boogeyman out there. If you are running the major UA channels, you don't need to worry about the fraud that much. Of course, there are these actual information that there is a lot of fraud in even in like within the Google and the Google Display Network remains to be confirmed. Nobody knows, and that's why I don't use that much like any new experimental UA networks because I mean, yeah, first fraud, and I don't care. I don't want to just deal with that. It just takes so much time to identify all these click farms and fraud bullshit. So yeah, I don't care. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, I have a
Primo.
similar percentage one for you, but I guess maybe less. I don't care. Uh, Do you
Okay.
think we will hit the point where more than 50% ads shown in games are non-gaming related? And when do you think this will happen?
Ooh.
Oh, very good question, Remo. I don't think that will happen, and here's why. The LTV on free to play games is still so much higher than the average LTV you get in non gaming apps that the users are so much more valuable to other gaming companies. And unless something really cataclysmic changes where people stop playing mobile games or start spending a lot less, that is never going to happen.
Hmm. Because I've seen some analysis around like the overall store spending, whereas apps should take over games in like 5 years or something like that. So still, you think like this won't kind of happen?
Don't see it happening right now. Like which apps would actually have higher LTV than some of these gaming apps? Like unless they actually change something in the app store to actually make it harder to get the games, which actually might happen on iOS, but who knows?
Yeah, but if you think about it, I think we discussed this on the Slovak podcast, right? That like the app business is growing like steadily year
Mm.
over year, and it's it doesn't show any any slowdown. So why not? It can
Hmm.
be pretty big chunk.
My guess is that either they come up with some kind of gamification model that you are able to spend more in normal game. Oh,
Gamification
normal
model.
app. That's not a game.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
yeah.
the thing is, like,
Everybody's
it's going to
talking.
happen like really suddenly. When that happens, you'll get a couple of apps, the super apps that will like have a higher LTV, and then it'll be worth it. And then suddenly, boom, it'll happen quickly if it does happen.
Hmm.
But yeah, I haven't seen any signs of it yet because literally probably 98% of the games, or like the games I manage, like they have like nearly none like app revenue. We had
Hmm.
quite a lot of branding, but like in May, that fell completely out of the bottom. Like it's completely disappeared.
Okay.
Hmm,
Sounds reasonable.
really? Okay. Uh, I can go next. So Felix, do you think native advertising will become more or will have more inventory than the usual ad monetization space or ad inventory that you can see in the games? And if yes, when?
I actually have no idea what to answer to that. That's a really good question. Let me put a pin on that one and save it for next week, and I'm going to do some research on it because that's actually an interesting question.
Because what's happening now with the native is just it's really fluctuating a lot and it's really unstable because then it can get you a really nice bump in revenues, really nice bump like 3x of what you are getting at the moment, and then suddenly disappears in like 3 days because there's no branding demand.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like,
branding,
okay,
like I said before, like
yeah,
you can track it from in May how much has gone down, and like Procter and Gamble, all these companies
yeah,
just not spending anything anymore. So yeah,
there you go. Okay, what
Remo,
else, guys? Yeah.
Remo, in your opinion, if you're willing to say, which gaming studio has had the most success due to luck? Mobile gaming
What the
studio.
fuck is going on with the luck?
Yeah, yeah. Name and
Luck.
shame. No bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't say Supercell, but Supercell.
That's what I was going to say.
Of course,
Yeah,
I know. I
they
know
were really
you.
lucky. They were really lucky in a way that they hit the exactly right time where it was the transition period between browser and mobile. But in the end, the design that they did is pretty
But
solid
was
in
it
a way that.
luck? Was it luck? You know.
Yeah, that's the part of it that it wasn't really like where they kind of successfully ported the Backyard Monsters and even changed it and polished it up. Same with Farmville into Heyday. So
Yeah.
it's like you need the execution. So it's not
Yeah.
really luck, but of course the timing is part of the luck if we can name
True.
it like
Yeah.
that.
You wouldn't say any of the Endless Runner studios would have had a bit of luck?
Uh, yeah,
That were
it's
Some
bought by
more
racing
of a, like
studios as
Miniclip.
well.
Yeah,
it's more of a
Racing.
like you were their first luck, which is kind of a different different type of luck.
Yeah, they're different types of luck. Okay.
And then like even like when we when I look back into the years, as Matthew said, we work at Pixel, that was also part, like
Oh
I
yeah,
would say, luck part, where
dude.
a
Yeah.
game that was running on browser for like 3 years, 4 years, or I don't remember how long, and then suddenly it like quadrupled or even
No, it was dying. The whole company had like 20K on their bank account, and then what did they do? Invest in UA bits. There you go. And then suddenly the game started to earn revenue, and yeah, they could scale or grow the game afterwards.
like on mobile, it was a
Yeah,
completely different beast than on browser,
yeah, it was
and,
sure.
and there were literally like zero changes to the to the inputs and like the client stuff there. Like of course optimization changes, but not that big of a kind of a change. So
And then if you're talking about luck and then Pixel Federation, so they had this decision to make. So to kill or not to kill Diggy's Adventure, which was like a long time ago, and it was on the browser only. So and they decided not to kill the game, and now it's the biggest revenue driver for the whole company. There you go. And it was I think it was pure luck, not nothing else, because based on the KPIs and numbers, that game should be dead. So
like
there's like
Pixel drives on these like lower KPIs, so it's kind of normal for them.
dude,
So
lower KPIs though. That game made like 2 million a month in its best days, so it's not low KPIs.
I mean
That's quite
retention
good.
numbers and stuff like that. Like
Sure,
if you
of
have like
course,
20% day one retention in like kind of an 8-year mobile studio, you want to kill the thing.
sure. But if
So
you have day 67 or 8%, that's also like
yeah, that's
there you go.
the
Yeah,
thing.
so you can't just make a
Yeah,
decision
but
based on day
it's
one
as I said,
retention.
like it's timing is usually the synonym for luck in mobile gaming. I would say it's like a big part of it. Timing is pretty much the luck. If you don't like just take the different side of the coin of that Clash of Clans story, that you are the Kixeye
Mm-hmm.
studio that
Yep.
created Backyard Monsters on browser, and then you like Will Harbin even said it on this like last podcast, the Joe Kims, that like they even look at Supercell and didn't think that they were a competition for them, and then didn't want to switch to mobile, and then suddenly Clash of Clans blew
But
up.
don't you think that's ego saying everything? Like, yeah, well, this is Supercell. We don't think they're going to be a big competition. I was like, that's underestimating
Could be,
the.
but still, timing is really big on mobile gaming. I would say that's the luck part.
Okay, hit me
Okay,
or Felix.
I
yeah,
got a
this
question
is
for
for
Maciej,
both
but
actually.
yeah,
This
okay.
is for both
Then I'll do
actually.
Maciej. My last question for Maciej.
If you could choose any mobile game on the market you could work on, which one it would be and why?
Oh, okay. It would be immediately. I mean, I have two. I have two for two different reasons. So first of all, it would be Apex Legends Mobile because EA UA department, it's not that great in my opinion. So I would definitely love to work on that, and I love Apex Legends. And then there we build the second game, which would be either Garden's Case or Home's Case, because I definitely want to work on more of these fake ads. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Man, without a shadow of a doubt, if Supercell picked up the phone and was like, "Hey, we need your help to put ads in one of our titles, any of
Yeah,
our
of course. Yeah,
titles, because it's
yeah,
never
yeah.
been done before," I would be like, "Yes,
Yeah.
that sounds great.
True.
Let me come and do that." Man,
Like, I
Okay.
can just imagine like Felix, yeah, you want to put ads in our games? No
Yeah.
way. See ya
Yep.
next century.
Bye.
yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's cool.
All right, I have two
Right.
more questions left for you, Malte, but I don't know if we actually have time to run through both.
Yeah. Let's try one and then we'll see.
Yeah. So, will you get a 2.5 gamers tattoo when we hit 1,000 subscribers?
Of course. Of course, dude. Seeing me, it's like a wall for painting. So
Will you
of
put
course
it like as a tramp stamp on your lower back?
oh yeah, next to your face. No, but it's like on my right hand there's a lot of stuff from family related, and then my past and all of these bullshit. So most probably not 1,000 subscribers, but then we'll see. Depends on how long we'll
So
do
no.
this. Yeah, it's a yes. It's a yes. Okay, 1,000, and then I will get it.
There we go.
You can hit me, and again, we have more time for sure. So, what was your question? I have like one more question for you guys.
No, yeah, keep going. Let's keep it going. Rima's turn though.
Okay. How many years until ad mediation gets completely automated to the point not needing human input?
1.5
You
years.
just read it as a robot.
1.5 years.
1.5 years, yeah.
Yeah, 1.5 years. And I cannot wait. You can actually focus on stuff that actually matters. So, like, there's a big thing in monetization. You need to do all the optimization things and like make sure everything works. But it's super annoying. It's not fun work all the time, right? Like just moving placements and testing. The real fun stuff, I think, is just actually doing the game stuff. Like, yeah, coming up with new placements, testing that, testing new types of ad units. Like that's what really adds like a lot of value. So if you do a
Sure,
great ad mon setup, like you increase the ad ARPDAU by maybe 20%. But if you want to double or triple your ad revenue, that's placements, is impressions, adding new formats. That's what really drives it there. So I think there will be less ad monetization managers, but they'll move more upstream and work more closer with the game development people, and they'll manage way more games. So yeah, it will change, and there'll be less of us, I think.
So you're gonna turn into game designer.
Some of it, but like
Yeah.
also managing like network connections because they're still sneaky.
Like the third party stuff.
Yeah, like there still will be stuff, and like I'm sure they're going to come up with something manual a bit to do around the bidders. Like you can now set bid floors on bidders. So yeah, it's evolving.
Okay. So I have a last.
Wait, can I follow up with my question on Mathieu here?
Okay, sure.
How long until UA is completely automated?
Well, it was supposed to be already automated like 2 years ago when everybody said it's going to like UA is going to be dead again. So
I think I once said that to you, and you got really angry at me.
yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe that's not. I don't know. No, but I think it's not 1.5 years. It should be. I think it's going to be even more. I mean, there are these attempts where you have different companies automating your different optimization activities, which is good because you can do that on ad networks. Like whitelisting, blacklisting these pub IDs up and down, which can be automated. But then you can't automate too much the Facebook and Google. I mean, it's already automated in a way, so you can slap automation on the black box. So yeah, good luck with that. So couple years maybe, hard to say.
Will you also become a game designer then?
No, most probably no.
I had a similar question here. Like, if UA would be completely dead, would you be doing brand marketing?
No, not at all. Because there is no such thing as brand marketing. Oh no, of course there is. But still,
15% of my ad revenue would say otherwise.
I know. But it's like you have these discussions with some of the game developers, and it's like, oh well, we are going to do the brand marketing. Like, yeah, why? It's like, oh well, because performer is not enough. Like, yeah, of course. Like, you can put 100K on TV ads, or you can put 100K in normal UA channels, and you can then measure the performance and see what brought you better ROI. Easy. So yeah, I wouldn't
King
be
would
doing.
disagree, right?
No, I wouldn't be doing the brand marketing. I would just move to Web3 and blockchain.
I'll see you with VR.
Move upstream in another way. There we go.
Okay, well then I wanted to ask one last thing, but it's like completely unrelated to all of this. But
what's your favorite black and white?
Okay, I will ask, and it's for both of you. Since we discussed this quite a lot in the past, like, what would you ask Mr. Banker Bobby Kotick, and why? There you go. Yeah.
I don't even know what I would ask him. I don't have nothing to say to him.
I would say just outstanding move covering your ass.
Yeah,
man. Like, I'd just be like, Bobby, Bunker Bobby.
Yeah.
You're fucking bulletproof.
Yeah,
Tank
heads
man.
off.
Tank
Heads off.
man.
I mean, just all these bullshit activities that were done. It's just terrible. But still, I have no idea how he can be still the CEO of the company. But
Dude, he played this wonderfully. Like
Oh, yeah,
he's
true.
yeah.
I would maybe ask rather, the guy coming after him, which is probably Phil Spencer or someone from Microsoft. Like, how are we going to fix this? That would be my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. And with
Maybe
that
ask him,
question,
like, what's your favorite sports car that you got now? I don't know.
yeah, where are you hiding? Where are you
Yeah.
hiding? Yeah, okay. And with that question, I think this was quite a lot of fun, actually. So thank you very much for listening to us and for subscribing. So you heard Felix. If you were getting 1,000 subscribers, and until next time, thank you very much. Bye bye.
Yeah.